Yo, what's going on? This is Eric Bellinger, and you're chilling right here on You Know I Got Soul. Keep it locked.
Thank you for taking the time out to do the interview. Definitely appreciate it.
Same here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So, first off, I know you've always had aspirations of being a singer, but I found it kind of interesting because you decided to start out again as a songwriter. So, talk about that and if you feel that starting out as a songwriter has helped you, develop your own sound.
Yes, definitely. I really just took after people, like The Dream, because I know he had did the song for Rihanna, the Umbrella song, and then people like, Carrie Hilson and Bruno Mars writing, did all these big songs, and then shortly after, I noticed that they came out with an album. Even Esther Dean had the song Drop that she came out with. So I really just, I'm always about like studying and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work, and that just seemed like a guaranteed no-brainer because, at the same time you're making money. That's really what got me to start. They were like, people were telling me that most of the money came from the writing, so I was like, okay, why not? So it's like you do the writing, you write for other artists, and it's kind of like a validation. It allows you to prove to the A&Rs, to prove to the president, to prove to the public that you're capable of, writing a hit song. So therefore, it gives the label, more, more assurance and a better, chance of them wanting to sign you because they know that you've done it before, and it isn't like they're just randomly taking a risk from someone, off the street who just has a good voice. They can actually, instead of having to pay for a writer and pay for an artist and pay for, you can just pick one and you kind of get it all in one. So that's really, been a great advantage for me trying to, start off my artist career.
Yeah, cool. And, can you kind of take me through your writing process? Like, how does the song become a song for you?
Well, everyone does it different. A lot of people already have songs and, like written, and then they're just kind of waiting to hear the right beat. Everyone has their own approach. But for me, I really don't hear words first. I hear melodies first. And I really like to fit words into the melody. Like I'll put on the track and go in the booth and literally sing a melody down the entire way and have no words. I'll just scat things like, whatever comes to my head, and I'll go all the way through. And I'll do a million of them until I feel like it sounds right, because I'm all about the feeling. I feel like you can fit words into a melody more so than fitting a melody to the words, because it's like you're trying to force the word in a certain part of the song. It's like, when you're trying to force the melody just to fit to your words, it's just, it gets kind of confusing, and it doesn't sound as natural to me. When I sing, I just kind of blurt out anything what sounds right and what feels good over the track. So I'm a melody first kind of guy.
Okay. And then, you have the new single out, Green Eggs and Ham. Talk to me a little bit about that song and how you came up with the concept.
Okay. I was actually in the studio with one of the guys who I'm signed to over at the writing camp. And it was actually a concept that he had, and he said he had never really told anyone because everyone was like, wouldn't take it serious, or anytime he brings it up, people would laugh. But I'm someone who, I like that kind of stuff. I'm drawn to things that aren't normal. So once he said that, and I was like, let's go, at first he looked at me like I was crazy to actually believe him. But then I was like, no, let's do it. Let's, start it off like this. And what if we flipped it like this? And I just kept going. And then once I put it on the mixtape, a lot of people were like, yo, this is my favorite song, or I love this one. So I was like, you know what? Let's do a video, and let's actually incorporate, the Dr. Seuss cartoon in there. And it was, really a great response for it, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and then just talking about your mixtape as well. Talk to me about the approach for that mixtape and, how it's been received so far.
Okay. Well, with that one, I really wanted to just show people that, I could, sing and not, and then, the concepts, I wanted to flip them to metaphors. I really wanted to make this one a metaphor type mixtape just because it's like only so many ways you can say I love you. So there's only so many ways you can say, I don't want to be with you no more. Or, and there's been a million songs. There's people write 100 songs a day, like just over the world, over 100. But, so as far as wanting people to know that I sing, I said, why not get, a group like Jodeci where people love this song, Freaking You, and really give it a spin and make it like the 2012 version. My buddies, the interns who produced the Rihanna Cake song, Big Sean Ass song, the Biggie, ABA, I asked them because I know they're super hip-hop guys, so they put the twist on it for me on the track, and then I just went there vocally, which was a great way I felt to start off the mixtape. And then with songs like Green Eggs and Ham, with songs like 25 to Life, you know what I mean? It's like, it's saying a girl's beautiful, but, if looks could kill, you deserve to be locked behind bars for eternity. So I just really try to flip the different section, like navigators, like just really making everything, more visual to where the songs are like movies and stuff.
Okay. And, have you decided to start on a debut album yet, or are you just going to continue with the mixtapes first?
Well, Volume 3 is definitely going to, I'm looking at that more so like EP album than mixtape.
Okay.
But I just wanted to keep the Volume 3 sequence going so that people, if they're coming in and they're barely joining, as far as being an Eric B fan, they know that there's a history. They hear Volume 3 and they say, I love this. Like, where's this guy been? They say, wait, this is Volume 3, so that must be Volume 2, and that must be Volume 1. So I really, want people to go back, because I still feel like Volume 1 and Volume 2 are classic projects that I really want people to pay attention to, just so they know that there's been some longevity with my career as well.
Okay. And, I know you've been also working with a couple of different artists lately. One of them that I'm really curious about is Rita Ora, who's got quite a buzz going on right now. And, we haven't really heard too much from her as far as material-wise. So what can you kind of tell us about her vocally, and what kind of sound are you going for with her?
Well, with Rita, it's really just, I think, going to shock people because she actually, can really, really sing and has, a lot of soul to her voice. So when people, see her, they're probably going to, think one thing, oh, she's so beautiful. But then when they hear her sing, then they say, whoa, Aretha Franklin. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a great contrast for her, even though, actually, it's great because she came out with a pop song, just to kind of reel everyone in, I believe, and, really gain people over. And then once she does that, it's going to just show people that she has a lot more, elements to her as well. So that's going to be great.
Okay. And then another project I know you're working on is the Kelly Rowland project. So can you kind of talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah. Kelly's album is going to hit home for a lot of people, for women, especially, but men as well. She's kind of like, I look at it as like how Steve Harvey just did the Think Like a Man movie.
Yeah.
Like with her album, it's going to be like Think Like a Woman. Like, it's going to, like, the Think Like a Man book really just told everyone, what men think about with, everyday life when they see girls, like everything. And with hers, she's kind of letting us in the female mind, so I think that was a great approach.
Oh, okay. And then, you also penned Usher's new single, Let Me See. So, kind of talk to me about the approach that you have to take when you write something for Usher versus something for Rita Ora versus something for Kelly Rowland, and then with Tank as well, because they all have their own different styles. So how do you kind of balance that to make sure that you give them something that they like, but you also give something that you like?
Yeah, well, really, I think it comes from studying, their styles and their, what type of artists they are. A lot of times when people are just writing songs like, oh, I'm going to write this song for that person, I'm going to write this song for that person, randomly in their own home or in their own studio, it's really tough because you have no idea what they want to talk about. So luckily I've been able to, be blessed enough to be in the studio with people, so I'm able to pick their brain a little bit. I'm able to, create what I feel they would love, that I also love. So that's a huge advantage for me. And mean, it didn't come easy. You know, I've been doing this music thing for like 10 years, and it's just, I just kept at it and, you know, stayed persistent. And now I'm able to, you know, be in the position I'm in. You know, if you know, ask anyone that knows me, I work so hard, you know, so it's allowed me to get me in the rooms with these guys, and, you know, I think everything is panning out the way that, you know, hard work, you can't do anything but, you know, catch up to you and, you know, get the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, cool. And, you know, who are you currently in the studio with, you know, aside from the people that I mentioned?
Well, that's really it. I honestly was taking this time to just start working on the Born to Sing Volume 3, but there's, you know, certain sessions when I get called, I'm like, I can't turn that one down. You know what I mean? So lately, you know, it's just been like Kelly a lot and the Usher stuff, so
Okay.
pretty much it.
Okay, and, you know, who would you want to work with? Like, who's a dream collaboration of yours?
I definitely want to work with, like, Rihanna and, like, Beyonce. Those are two people who I feel like are at the top, you know what I mean? And I really, that's kind of how I am. Like, I shoot for the moon all the time, you know, and I think that's kind of what got me. Like, I have a list and all these people that I'm checking off when I'm trying to work with people, and slowly I'm like, I've been doing a pretty good job. I have, like, Brandy, someone who was my favorite person, who's always, you know, all her albums, and I got to work with her, so she was a pretty high one on my list, and of course Usher. So, you know, God is definitely putting me in positions to where, you know, he's setting me up and knocking them down each time, and so I'm really excited about what's to come.
Yeah, and, you know, that's all that I had for you. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Just definitely want to say thanks a lot to all my fans and all the love and support everyone's been giving me. I want to tell everybody to look forward to Born to Sing Volume 3. Look forward to the videos coming, and just make sure to follow me on Twitter at Eric Bellinger, BRICBELLINGER, and check my Tumblr frequently for updates at IamEric2.com.